Hello. I love it. I was trying to answer you, but I'm like, well, you can't hear me.
I can't. Well, hello, everybody. I don't want this to be too insider between me and Orlee, but we just, I've been doing this every Friday, and this is the first Friday that I feel like I got it a little bit better, although not on time. So there you go. Anyway, I want to introduce you guys to someone who is very special and very important to me. I'm going to read her accolades because I couldn't possibly memorize them if I tried. So she's a systems-focused, trauma-informed mindfulness and IFS coach. She serves youth and adults. She's certified in mindfulness meditation, internal family systems therapy, applied suicide intervention skills training, as well as many other skills and certifications. Did I do that right? Did I say that all right?
What a warm welcome. I wasn't expecting that. Thank you very much.
And I have to say one more thing. She's the only person beside my daughter and my boyfriend who's seen me before 7 a.m. That's also why she's so special to me. Anyway, everybody, I'd love to introduce you to my friend, my yoga teacher, and my inspiration to try and learn how to meditate, Orlee Klempner.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
Orlee.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say that you have been such an inspiration to me for such a long time now. Like, I've told you this before, you've taught me to step into my power and the power of no, which is super important. And yeah, you've just been, I feel, a great friend as well. So thank you.
Well, I was wondering, do you remember when we first started doing yoga together?
I do remember. It started really early in the morning.
Yeah, I think it was maybe like 5 or something. I think I was shooting.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's been a few years now, because I started doing yoga basically before I even had Jade. I had to stop working out. I was a gym rat for years and years, and I couldn't do it anymore when I was pregnant for various reasons. And so I got into doing yoga. And then I never gave it up after. And it's completely changed my life. It's changed my posture, my body, the way I breathe. But today I wanted to focus more on meditation than yoga, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So benessere for Italians is wellness. And that's what I call these little chats. And I was just wondering, the first question I like to ask everybody is, what does wellness mean to you?
To me, sorry, you know how my eyes water sometimes. And now, of course, it's starting now. To me, wellness, to me specifically.
Yeah, just to you.
Yeah, uniquely. Because it can be whatever for anybody. But for me, wellness is about staying in touch with myself. And, that means a practice of coming into this present moment, whether it be through movement, like what we do, yoga, or meditation, or a simple, quick breath practice, grounding practice, even orienting yourself in your space. And then, of course, off the topic of today, to me, everything goes hand in hand. The way I do one thing is the way I do everything. So it's definitely in the kitchen. It's definitely in a consistent practice of movement in addition to stillness. Or if I were to take movement meditation separately, working out, really giving my body that heart pace that I need to, rise every once in a while, and strength training, because for me, I've experienced a lot of joint failure. And so strength training really helps me with that. And that's what I really mean by it's unique to everybody, right? So
yeah. Oh, for sure. The definition of wellness means something different to every person, but I always think it's interesting to know what it means to the person that I'm chatting with.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think what's fascinating is that you did yoga. You were in a completely different world before you started doing yoga and yoga training. And when I mean completely different, I mean 180-degree difference. High stress. Was it PR? That's what you were doing, right?
Advertising.
Yeah. Okay. And so you changed your life, you started doing yoga, and you became a yoga professional, basically. And then how did you make the transition from yoga to yoga and meditation? So I think that's kind of fascinating.
Right. Yeah. I was actually just talking to my dad this morning about how it's really evolved. You know, I got out of the corporate world that was pretty stressful as far as like schedule and deadlines and stuff. And transitioning out of that into yoga came out of a big event. And I think that all of these have to come from some big events. And that was getting out of an engagement, a relationship. And so that really turned me on to like, oh, there's some more stuff out there. And then very shortly after becoming a yoga teacher, I got into a really bad car accident. And it took a year of testing, like why I'm in so much pain, because they couldn't figure it out. But once they did, so it skips a year, they told me, you know, you're going to have hip reconstruction in 2 days. You can't be on your hip anymore. And yeah. And so I was out for the next year. In addition, they had to do a shoulder repair. So it was 2 surgeries back to back. And having to be still without the choice of movement or stillness was, you know, very eye-opening to some, sorry.
No, that's Orlee.
Yeah, that's weird.
Somebody's calling
Can you hear
her
that
at the same
buzz?
time. I can. I just figured it'd go away.
Okay. It's actually from a very random number that doesn't go away. I don't know what's happening right now. I apologize.
That's the funniest thing about these live videos is
that
you
crap
can't
happens.
You can't control them. It's okay.
It seems to have stopped now, so let's give it a chance.
It's all good. Don't worry.
So, anyway, I was stuck in a still point. Like a teacher of mine actually talks about this. There will be a day that we will have no choice but to be still, right? Oftentimes,
I think that's really hard for a lot of, I mean, I know it's really hard for me to be still.
That's right.
So it's very difficult because being still with yourself means that, I don't know, you have to be with your thoughts. I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be,
because you can't really do anything else, right?
Mm-hmm. You have no choice. You don't have the ability to distract yourself.
And I think we live most of our lives with distractions.
That's
like,
right.
for instance, today I have a birthday party coming up for Jade. So my distraction was getting everything together and then saying, okay, I got to sit down and I'm going to talk to Orlee. And probably that's going to be the most mellow part of my day. But yeah, I think we live with distractions in the moment that we're not allowed to do that.
That's right. And
we're
so
faced with, you know.
So being forced to be still opened up my eyes to like, there's a practice around this. And I better, because I was going to go crazy. I couldn't do yoga. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do yoga. So I thought, all right, meditation's going to be my yoga. And I'm really glad I made that decision before going into being completely still on the couch for 1 year. And then, yeah. And I mean, not completely still for 1 year. It was completely still for maybe the first 3 months, but then physical therapy and everything, still very limited. So my meditation practice really saved me in the moment. It was hard at first. And to your point, what happens when we become still? The thoughts start to arise. We can't distract ourselves. So we have to be with us. We have to be with ourselves. And that can be very, very difficult. And it was.
Yeah. And that is similar to mindfulness as well, like meditation and, you know, they kind of seem to always be spoken about in tandem with each other. Yeah. So it must kind of mean the same type of thing, because you do both meditation and mindfulness wrapped up into your sessions.
That's right. Yeah. I think mindfulness is a term that defines like perhaps a state of being, which you can find within meditation. So meditation is formally sitting down and doing a practice. Whereas you can find mindfulness throughout the day. But yes, mindfulness is about coming into the present moment, and with coming into the present moment in meditation is a tool that's always access, or at least attempted to access.
So would you say mindfulness is like, let's say I'm taking my dog Bruno for a walk and the wind starts to blow through the leaves of the trees, and I take a moment, or I see a flower and I take a moment to either smell it or just really look at its beauty. Is that a mindfulness moment, or is that kind of a meditational moment, or is it both?
It is 100% a mindfulness moment, a present moment where you're fully letting in your experience of looking at this flower, its textures, its vibrancy, perhaps. Maybe it is wrinkled and you're appreciating that as well. There's a sense of appreciation there. Present moment, you're using your eyes, one of our senses, how we experience this present moment. So you're letting in the flower via your sight, which is how we experience anything. So becoming present with that experience, again, to your point earlier of being with yourself, you're finding stillness in that moment. And, you know, again, it doesn't have to look like sitting down, closing your eyes, like doing what pictures look like, you know. It can very much be pausing and checking out a flower or wind in the trees. So I do that so much too. I know we both walk dogs, so we have many opportunities to see that in the neighborhood.
And do you think that because, you know, I cook for a living, obviously, mindfulness goes hand in hand, it can be helpful in eating as well, as we, you know, are careful and kind of, we talk a lot about mindful. I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about mindful eating rather than just mindless eating.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You know, mindful eating, again, it's one of our senses, right? Our tongue. And the choice to let in the experience. There is a whole, you know, practice around it where you make sure to put the fork down in between bites and, you know, not look at anything. There are really formal practices, but you can just simply also be with the experience of eating your food. I did it actually for lunch before this, and there are other opportunities where, you know, I live alone, so it's easy to just go in front of the TV while I'm eating my dinner or something. But
yeah, or eat it over the sink. That's what I sometimes do.
Right.
Like I cook for Jade, and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry too, but I'll just stand here,
right,
and eat over the sink.
Right.
Sometimes, and I have to stop myself and be like, no. Like when I was growing up, we'd have big meals, and my family would all sit down for dinner, and it was a whole experience. Right. I think there's something to be said for eating that way because of the way that maybe the food gets digested, and the mind and the stomach play a part in that, and it's just more healthful in the end for your body, probably. Do you remember if it was hard for you the first time you meditated? Because you said you had that surgery. Do you remember if it was, because I think for a lot of people, meditation is intimidating. I think they feel like there's only a certain way to do it, and that it, you know, really that it's hard and intimidating, so people don't do it. And in fact, I have a really hard time doing it. I've always said, like, I want to do more of it, but for me, like, a couple minutes is hard unless I'm being guided by you.
Right.
Then it's different. Then it's a guided meditation with someone there, and I sort of just go with it. But to do it alone, so I was just wondering, how hard was it when the first time you ever tried?
It was really hard. So I entered my practice also thinking that there was just one way of doing it. You know, I knew that you can add up your time over time, but, and I knew I had to take a modified position because of my hip. But other than that, I forced myself to be really still, and like would get upset every time I had a thought or got caught in a thought and went off into the future somewhere. And I would come back really frustrated, you know?
Yeah, I think it frustrates people because they don't know what does it mean to meditate well? Like,
right.
what
Am
is
I
a
doing it
successful
right?
meditation?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I slowly but surely came to find that meditation is not about the doing it,
Okay.
or doing the practice. It's about just showing up with a kind attention. Really super important. So it's the difference of showing back up to the present moment, like, oh, I got caught in a thought, and then you're really frustrated when you come back to the present moment with this like rigorous energy. That's pushing back against your practice. If instead you're come back to your present moment while meditating, maybe focusing on your breath or something, and oh, okay, I was thinking, now I'm meditating, now I'm focusing on my breath, now I'm breathing, this is what breathing feels like, and get curious around that. It makes for a much more pleasant experience, number one, and it also creates that motivation to come back, right? Because if you're gonna keep coming back to something frustrated, and then that'll slowly get you to not like that experience anymore. That'll slowly get you to not like what it is in the experience, meditation, and then you just stop showing up, you know?
Right.
Which I've experienced because I was going about it that rigorous way. But I eventually found that, you know, we have to simply be kind, and it felt fake at first because I was just so not used to being that way with myself, which I think is very common. So,
but are there different kinds, Orlee? Are there different types of, I mean, I know you've done a guided meditation with me. Yeah, different types of meditations. You've done guided meditations with me. I know I have apps on my phone that do guided meditations also, talking you through it. I just didn't know if there's different types of meditation, and if there are, which one do you think is the easiest or the most attainable for people who are just wanting to start out?
Yeah, so, you know, to your point earlier, you said that it's hard to sit still for even 2 minutes. And I think that that's what, if people could hear from a teacher and from many people out there, that it's okay to just do it for 1 minute and then to move on. We don't have to sit there for 30 minutes or even 5 or 10 minutes if it's too much. To just pause even for a few moments and look at a flower, or feel your feet touching the ground. Using
with shoes or no shoes?
With shoes or no shoes.
Okay.
And I only say that because there, of course, is a beautiful practice of feeling your feet barefoot.
Yes,
right?
And walking, they say, in the dirt and grass and things of that nature.
Really getting grounded and connecting with the elements of the earth, 100%. But I'm coming from, in answering this, a way of, oh my gosh, that call is coming in again. A way of being able to come back to this present moment easily, right? Really feasible, so that you don't have something standing in your way, basically. You don't have to do the extra, you know, tying your shoes, getting out to the door, getting to a studio, you know. It's great to be in community, but sometimes it's really feasible to simply just feel your feet in the ground or in your shoes.
Yeah. I just think, you know, it's great for people to know how to start. So
that's right. Yeah.
I like to lay down on my back with my knees touching and my legs bent. And that's right. Feet on the ground. Yeah. So that's my favorite. And if I even lay there for a minute, it helps me breathe and relax. So it's really, you know, that alone is great. Right. But I didn't know if you had, you know, anything. I think maybe that, or even maybe just some quiet time, even if you have to hide yourself in a bathroom. It's still
that's right. 100%.
Quiet time, maybe?
Yeah. Finding a quiet space, and, you know, to just give a few ideas of what you can focus on in those quiet moments. Because I like to use anchors. We call it anchors in mindfulness. What to anchor your attention on is basically what that means. I find that to be really the easiest way to come back to this moment, is just, you already have your 5 senses. You don't have to pick up anything. they're there. So just focusing on something through your five senses, either your taste, the food that you're eating, touch, feeling your feet in the ground, or any other sensation that comes easily to you. Maybe it's even your breath. You can follow your breath, right?
Yeah.
We talked about looking at something with that appreciation and curiosity, playfulness, and then hearing, and smelling, just listening to the sounds around in that quiet space, and that sounds like an oxymoron, but if you go and sit, just like you said, hide out in the bathroom for a few minutes.
Well, I was just kidding, but I just meant like if you
I mean, if you're a mom,
can't get away from everybody.
right?
I mean, for me, the easiest meditation is cooking. As long as I'm not doing it, obviously, on camera, and I'm just at home cooking, for my family or just whatever, when I'm not on camera. To me, that's a meditation because I get lost in it. And I would say probably walking my dog is another one that kind of gets me out and helps me to sort of, but I think it's going to be different for everyone. Now, I would love for you to take us through a 5-minute meditation, but first, I thought it'd be fun to answer some fan questions.
Okay.
What do you think?
I love it.
Ready?
Do it, yeah.
Okay. So one fan asks, well, many ask this, but can you meditate the wrong way? How do I know if I'm doing it right? So is there a wrong way to meditate? I don't know, I guess.
And that's such a common statement or thought, like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this the right way? No, the wrong way to meditate would be to not meditate.
Okay.
And to not approach the practice, right? There are so many styles of meditation, and I encourage everyone to, try out the ones we've mentioned, and also check out there's yoga nidra, there's journey meditations, there's chakra meditations. There are some really fun ones to play with, and you can explore and find what resonates for you, which also may change over time, and that's okay. And we've mentioned this, where you lie on your back for your meditation. It doesn't have to look like crisscross applesauce, right? And a place, it doesn't have to be a quiet place. You can meditate on the sounds around you.
That's true.
Right? And how you're even relating to the sounds. Maybe it's like construction across the street and you're like, and just noticing how you're meeting this moment, being with yourself. So I think any way that you can do that, whether it's on a walk or while you're cooking, doing your passion creatively, if you can be playful about that and curious and in the moment with it. Because when you say that you get lost in your cooking, what I really hear is that you become present with your cooking and with the experience of it and creating, something fabulous.
I sometimes fall asleep. Meditating if I'm not when I'm cooking, but when I'm laying down or whatever. Yeah, I find that sometimes I've fallen asleep with you too, so that's okay too, right?
Absolutely. Okay. A lot of times when we fall asleep, it's because our body is saying, we're tired, we need to go to sleep, and that's okay. You need to give yourself what you need, and that's showing that same kindness I was talking about earlier. As well as sometimes when we fall asleep, it could be a way of escaping the moment, which is something that we can look into as well. It's just another way of being with yourself, whether it's being present or sad or like what's arising for you, maybe escaping the moment.
Right.
Which,
Also, that's good to know. There's no wrong way to do it. That's great.
That's right.
So Lindsay asks, I have 2 toddlers and I can't find a moment to meditate. Any tips for sneaking it in an unconventional place? Lindsay, go to the restroom and close the door. Just kidding. Go to your garage. Go sit in your car. I don't know.
That's right. It's so true. Like, if you're going to go to the restroom anyway, on your way out, before you open the door, take a moment, close your eyes, notice your breath, notice your feet on the ground, listen to the sounds, and then proceed. In mindfulness, it's called the 3 Ps. So Yeah. So we pause, we become present, and then we proceed.
Oh, nice.
So,
I like that.
right? So maybe
Okay.
it's after washing your hands. Or I was going to say, in the shower, feeling the water on hit your skin. As well as you said it in the car, take a few breaths before you exit the car.
Yeah.
Don't meditate while driving.
No, not a good idea. Good. How about a couple of rapid fire questions and then we'll get to the meditating. What do you think? You ready?
Great. Yes. Please.
Okay. Orlee, first thing you do every morning.
The first thing I do is I open my eyes and I literally feel my body right then and there. If we really want to get technical, I turn off my alarm.
There you go. Okay. So maybe like a deep breath when you wake up.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm with my body, feeling the gravity.
Okay. Your favorite mantra to meditate to?
May we feel seen and heard.
I like that. Strangest place you've ever meditated?
On the internet. This last year, right?
During COVID? Yeah. On a Zoom?
But, you know, there is a unique place that's not so strange, like not weird, you know, but it's unique and extraordinary. A cave in the Himalayas in India.
Oh, right. When you went to India, that's right.
That's
very cool. That's very special. Not many of us are going to get to India and be able to do it in a cave in India, but that's pretty great. So, are we ready for a quick little meditation?
Yeah.
Do you want to guide us through something?
Yeah. And, you know, I'm going to do it for, you know, about 1 to 2 minutes to show you that it can be done.
Great.
Quick.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
So
what do I do?
Well, you'll simply close your eyes. But for the rest of you, if you want to lay down or sit in a chair, or if it is really comfortable to sit crisscross applesauce, you know, in a cross-legged position, whatever feels right. And you also don't have to close your eyes. If you want if you want to keep your eyes open, you're more than welcome to. It is encouraged to gaze down and just a few feet in front of you and keep your gaze there. Yeah. So coming into that, and why don't we simply notice the body right here, right now, by feeling the connection that your body's making to the surface below. Maybe it's your chair or your bed or the floor. Good. And then noticing any obvious tension in your body, allowing the shoulders to be heavy, the back of your neck to be spacious.
Afraid I'm going to fall asleep.
And then fall over. And then let's just begin to bring attention to your breath. Notice breath coming in. Notice breath going out. Noticing the rise and fall of your inhales and your exhales. This is what breathing feels like. And then collectively, as a big community, let's all at the same time take a big inhale. And then let it go, exhale. Coming back to the normal rhythm of your breath. And when you're ready, opening your eyes.
Even that, how long was that? A minute?
Like 90 seconds or so.
Yeah, even that just, I feel my shoulders just dropped.
Totally right.
I have Natasha in the room. Natasha, do you feel any different? She feels great too, relaxed.
Yay.
Although my sister, who you can see over here on the couch,
Oh,
has not
hi.
gotten off the phone the whole time, and you would think she would have meditated with the chance to do that, but she didn't. That was very lovely. That was very lovely. Well, thank you for your time, Orlee.
Thank you for having
You're
me.
very special, and you're very much a healer.
Oh,
And I appreciate you very much.
thank
And I
you.
hope everybody enjoyed this, because, you know, that's how easy meditation can be. And you don't need Orlee to talk you through it. You can just, I don't know, talk to yourself or not talk at all.
That's
just
right.
be with yourself, you know?
That's right.
All right.
Thank you. I really appreciated this as well and had so much fun.
Thank you, Orlee.
Thank you.
By the way, you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So do you. I'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.